What's going on YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, and I'm back with kind of the first part of my Road to UK Nationals segment that you will have hopefully seen the intro video for. This is going to be deck profile number 1. As I warned you in the past video, I am going to be profiling Dino Rabbits. If you missed that warning, sorry, but this is going to be a Dino Rabbit video. I'm kind of here to talk about the deck I plan on running, the changes I've made to it since the other builds that I've played, with the meta of the upcoming Nationals in mind. I've taken a lot of consideration into what's been topping the other Nationals, like Germany and things like that. I've been seeing that wind-ups have been coming back quite significantly across the national circuit, even winning French Nationals, I think. But still, I must say that my number one threat that I feel when using this deck is Chaos Dragons. I feel I have a good matchup against Insectors, Dino Rabbit Mirror, and Windups. Chaos Dragons, and to a lesser extent Heroes, are two decks that I'm very afraid of. Either way, I'm going to profile the deck now, show you guys kind of what I've got built at the moment. This is a more old school build, kind of like before priority build, because I found that my macros are never really on time to hit Veilers, and I feel that this deck can really survive Veilers quite well anyway, so they haven't been serving such a good purpose in the main, and I felt like the space would be better spent elsewhere. Either way, let's get started. Just make sure that everything is okay and in shot. To start things off, of course, we play the triple rabbit. Standard. You almost don't need the rabbit in the deck anymore. If you practice well enough, you really don't even need the rabbit. Because after reading Joe Giolando's article on Ultra Reality Games, which I will link you guys to, and sorry the fridge has just started up again, so there's going to be buzzing in the background, yay. I will put a link to it. It really focuses on how you can play rabbits in a grind game when you don't open the nuts with Rabbit and Tour Guide, so I thought it was a really relevant article, and it really taught me how Rabbit isn't really, it's a really great way to win quick, but it's not necessary, and it can really be used for power late game. Next up, of course, I play the obligatory 3 Tour Guides and the Sanga. No further comments there. The Tour Guides I'm seeing a lot more now as just an engine to recycle Rabbit, rather than an engine to give me kind of an easy Zen Mains or an easy Leviathan Dragon. They really are a resource rather than a defensive monster. Or at the very least, they're an engine to get me to my Sangan, and then get me to my first Rabbit to get the cycle going. Either way, that's the kind of the broken parts of the deck. Moving on, I'm still playing the triple Jurak Guiber because I feel that a lot of parts of the field will be Insector based, and this card absolutely destroys Insectors. It's quite bad against Rabbit and Chaos Dragons, but against the Rogue and against Insectors and against Windups, it's a really good card. It's really invaluable game 1, and of course game 2 you have the luxury to side it out should you want to. And with the triple Lance that this deck plays, it becomes really, really valid, and it's another dinosaur. It means the deck can play 9 dinosaurs, making the third Largia or the second Dolka far more live. Let's put that out of the way. Next up, we play, of course, the Vanilla Monsters. Still, drawing these is now kind of almost a good thing in my mind, because the playstyle I've started to adapt. You really can just slow roll into things by summoning one of these, sitting on it, defending it, bluffing if you must, and just really slow rolling into an Evolzar, and your opponent will spend resources just on normal monsters. When you summon the second one, you'll see a warning, just to stop you going into certain things. You can force panic plays. And then, bringing back some of the old school cards that I used to play in my old builds, I played 2 Veilers and 1 Gauze, because, sorry, I just need to check everything was still in shot, because I really didn't think that macro was doing enough good, and I felt like having Veilers would be more useful. I still have everything else in my trap lineup. I still have quite a heavy trap lineup, I think like 10 cards. So the deck really hasn't suffered that much. It just means there's less continuous stuff. I think there's no continuous cards in this anymore, making Gauze incredibly live. And to be honest, Gauze is a game winner, and I really need some high beaters actually in the main deck, so Gauze is a winner. And Double Veiler is really good in game 1 against Rabbits, game 1 against Insectors, just everything really, except for Heroes and Chaos Dragons. I mean, Chaos Dragons still is really quite good if you can just wait for your opponent to flip the Raikou if they're bad. Hopefully you can hit it with the Veiler, but game 2, of course, I'd really go for macro. So yeah, I'd really put in the macro Cosmos and probably take out the Veilers against certain matchups. Anyway, onto the spells. I play 1 Reborn, the 1 Dark Hole, the 1 Storm, The one book, while some people have found it considerably unreliable, I've gone back to the Avarice simply because of the fact that it is a +1, and it's really quite easy, should you draw a rabbit, to get 5 monsters into the grave. Just rabbit and tour guide. Or in a bad situation, you can slow roll through your deck and eventually bring yourself to a situation where you can +1 off of Avarice and put back all your normal monsters, hopefully draw into the rabbits. It's just really quite good at that. Then I played the triple Space Typhoon. I managed to replace all of my gold ones with Starfall ones now, because I really don't like that whole gold rare rule. Well, the whole gold rare urban myth that's going around at the moment. That gold rares, you can be disqualified because you've got a few gold rares in your deck. But either way, MST's triple is how much you have to play in this deck. It really does put in so much work because there are so many things that can counter this deck. I'm really quite afraid of Gozen Match going into this event, and my extra deck reflects that. So, yeah. I then play the triple Lance. Lance is absolutely amazing in this format because the amount of things that are going to hit you. It stops the bottomlesses against single dinos. It protects Rabbit from chain disappearance, which is incredibly popular at the moment. And it's just a really, really quite a good staple card. I mean, it even gets your Largias around being Darkhold, so you can save your negations and things like that. It's just incredibly versatile, and the very fact that you can use it in the damage step against the mirror. So when your opponent's like Largia attacks your Dolka, you can activate this in damage step, and the Largia can't negate it. It's absolutely amazing. I'm telling you guys a lot of old stuff, but this is a lot of stuff that I haven't really mentioned in my videos recently, so it's kind of good to go over a lot of things. Then I play Double Smashing. I will hopefully be playing Soul Takers at the event, but for the life of me I can't find my Soul Takers. So if any of you guys saw my last video about coming to meet me, if you guys have any spare common Soul Takers, if you could put them together and try and track me down on the Friday, because I will be at the side events on the Friday, trying to get the last chance qualifier and then playing some winner mats. That'd be absolutely amazing if you could come ask me if I'd found some Soul Takers, because I really want to have some Soul Takers going into the event. Then for the trap lineup, I play Double Prison. Prison is so good. A lot of people don't opt not to play it and opt it inside. Having this in the main deck is a big surprise, and it's only really bad against Insectors. It's really good against everything else. And with Chaos Dragons occupying a massive part of the field right now, this is just amazing, because it just takes the Light Pulsar straight off the board, or at least takes the Red Eyes Darkness Metal off the board and banishes it so the Light Pulsar can't revive it. Absolutely amazing card. Personally, one of my favourite cards in the deck. I play Double Torrential. I'll be swapping one of these out for a common at the event, just in case. Torrential is just absolutely amazing when you come down to a grind game. I really don't like it when you have field control, but of course it's always there as kind of the self-destruct button when you've lost field control, and you know that you're in a losing situation and you can plus off of activating Torrential. After watching Darkguard 88 and Courtney Waller's videos on utilising Torrential and other power cards, I've really learned how to plus well with this card, and it's really become something of a god card to me. It's absolutely amazing, and that's why I choose to play 2, even though a lot of people say play 1 in Rabbit. 2 is absolutely amazing, and when played correctly, you will plus crazy amounts to save yourself a lot of hurt with this card. Just do not burn it on the slightest threat. If you're not going to lose to it, don't Torrential it. Then for the Summon Stoppers, we play double Bottomless. Sorry, continuing with the Summon Stoppers, we just had a Torrential. We play double Bottomless. Again, this is quite bad against Insectors. However, it's quite good against everything else in the meta right now. It's really quite good against Windups, because Windups go into bigger things like Zen Mighty, and now that Priority is gone, this can hit it. It's good against Heroes, good against Chaos Dragons, good against most rogue decks, including Gravekeepers, which have seen increased turnout, and great against Dark Worlds, because Grapha, bottomlessing a Grapha absolutely destroys their plays. Sorry about this, I'm getting a bit tired. I've just had a really long day in relaxing and building this deck. Then we play the obligatory Solemn Warnings and Solemn Judgment, and then I'm still playing the Starlight Road, even though I don't play the macros. Starlight Road for me has become a bit of a staple, because when played correctly, you can really just bait your opponent into running into it, and it's just so amazing to get yourself a free Stardust, even if it is just a free 2/5 beater. The fact you can then build a field around it, and then your opponent, even if they want to try and Dark Hole, you can just ditch the Stardust anyway, so it's absolutely amazing in that facility. Anyway, let's go on to the extra deck. There have been a few changes in here, but nothing too significant. But I think this is the final extra deck that I will take to the event. This is the one I'm happiest with. I'll explain my choices when I feel I need to. I play the one Leviathan Dragon, just for the muscle. It's Leviathan Dragon. Double Leviair. I still feel the need to play double Leviair, because of course I see Tour Guide as more of an engine now, rather than a beater. Or rather than a, I'm going to get you into bigger monsters. That's not really what Tour Guide is for in this deck. So Leviair is really really essential in this deck. And I'd rather have the 2 for the event that I wanted to make 2. Then I play the 1 Zen mains, because you always need the emergency defender. You will make him Zen mains. I then play the Utopia, because it's the standard Utopia. Utopia Ray for the low life point situations, and trust me, I've used this quite a bit. Photon Purple Imperative, because Purple Imperative is just amazing against the stall plays like Galanduo, Reaper, Arcana Force the Fool. And as Joe Giolando pointed out in one of his videos, he switched his Levier using Photon Purple Imperative to attack under a Messenger of Peace, and I thought that was absolute genius. So I really like this card, and I'm really looking forward to actually playing it in a major tournament. I then play the 1 Maestroke, because you have to play Maestroke. It's an absolutely amazing card. It's Walking Book of Moon and a Gachi all in one, so it's definitely a good card. I play the 1 Gemnite Pearl because I'm really afraid of Gozen Match in this deck. There are no water level 4s at the moment, so Gemnite Pearl was the best Earth that I could use. So that at least I could go Rabbit, double Sabersaurus, and then go into Pearl to at least make sure that I don't minus, or my opponent doesn't plus. Either way, that's it for kind of the staple Xyz stuff. Then we just have the Evolzars in the form of Triple Lagia. I feel Triple Lagia is an amazing staple, and you should never play less than that. Triple Lagia is great because Lagia is more applicable in almost every matchup. It's just that Dolkas are more of a specialized card. So the Lagias are in there for your general matchups, and then the Dolkas are there for when you need something a little bit more special. I'll just put these away. Then, of course, I play the 1 Stardust for Starlight Road, and the Rescue Cat token for my Gauze, because everyone loves Rescue Cat. Then I play in my side 1 Chaos Hunter. Chaos Hunter is my kind of underdog tech for use against Chaos Dragons. I'm still going to test this. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I feel that this operates in the same way as a Pseudo Gauze or a Pseudo Tragodia, in that it can stop your opponent from going off, meaning they have to go into their battle phase to attack over it, stopping them from being able to banish things, to special summon things. Generally trying to stop them going off, but I'm still not sure how I feel about this card. It is quite detrimental to you, but it's also a 3/2/5, and rabbits can really do with that. So if you guys can give me your thoughts on running Chaos Hunter and whether I should play it or take it out, let me know. And then in worst case scenario, it's a 7. I can just go 7, normal summon Veiler, and then Xyz for a Tour Guide. Sorry, Xyz for a Stardust. What am I talking about, Tour Guide? Carrying on, I play double Thunder King. Thunder King is just absolutely amazing in the Chaos Dragon matchup at the moment. Stopping their search power, stopping their Xyz plays, stopping their big monster plays. So it's just great at holding things off at the moment. And it's also good against the wind-up matchup, and against quite a few other matchups where it's single monster special summons. So Thunder King is getting a bit more applicable at the moment, but I'm really not sure how I feel about it. Putting it against Heroes and Hero Beat, though, is going to be absolutely devastating. The very fact that you can just drop this and go, yeah, equal your shit. Search your shit. If you haven't got Alias in hand, you're in a lot of trouble, mate. Thunder King. I'm then playing the 2 Maxi. I don't have much faith in Maxi, but it proved quite good against, during the kind of explosion of wind-up decks after Order of Chaos. And wind-up has become a bit of an underdog that's been sneaking through quite a few events, and I feel that Maxi is worth siding again at the moment, so that's just the 2 Maxi. It's the only thing I side for them. I don't side Cyber Dragons. I then play the double Snowman Eater. I didn't really have room for a third, so 2 was perfect, just for the Rabbit Mirror. I have quite a few other tech cards for Rabbit Mirror, so including the Maxis in some facilities. Then I play the 1 Kinetic Soldier, because it's Kinetic Soldier, and just being able to set this against heroes, or searching it off of Sangan is absolutely amazing. So, Kinetic. And this is also my sleeper tech. A lot of people haven't been siding it, so I'm hoping that hero players just won't see this coming. I then play the 1 Kaiser Colosseum, because I feel this is an amazing tech, and it really shuts down a lot of decks. A lot of decks don't see this coming, and they have to burn their MSTs on it. It's just absolutely awesome. And it can also frustrate your opponent into heavy storming your board when you have your face down Starlight Road. And I love being able to frustrate my opponent into misplaying. So Kaiser Colosseum is absolutely amazing. If you don't know what it does, I'd look it up, because it's really quite something. I then play the double Chalice. I was playing 1, I bumped it up to 2 because I found out the applicability of this card. I found out that you can do crazy things in the damage step, like when you attack recklessly into a Snowman Eater, you can activate this and target the Snowman Eater, apparently, and negate it. So could you guys tell me if I'm right about that? If I attack a Snowman Eater and it flips up, can I negate its effect with this? Because apparently so. So yeah. Forbidden Chalice. And it's also it also puts my Largias on 2-8, which means my opponent's Red Earth Darkness Metals at least crash, or it means that my opponent's Light Pulsars just slam into it, or I can negate the effects of certain monsters. So it's really quite something. Then onto the traps in the side. I play double macro that was in the main. I didn't feel the need to side 3 because it's not that amazing. And then I side the double Shadow Mirror for Dark Worlds and Insectors. And to be honest, the macros are applicable against 1 and 2 decks at the moment, so it's really quite something. I mean, even against wind-ups going first, it means they're not going to be able to hand loop you because you can shut them out of the hand loop, so it's absolutely awesome. And then the Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors just shut down everything else. And they're always applicable against loads of decks, shutting down Tour Guides and crazy stuff like that. And Insectors just absolutely melt in the face of this card. Alright then, that's about all I have time to talk about with this deck. I hope I've given you an insight on my my kind of outlooks using Rabbit in this current format. I feel that Rabbit is a much more kind of skillful deck now because it's not so sacktastic. You really need to know what you're doing to get out of tough situations. And the better Rabbit players will really triumph over the worst Rabbit players. And I feel after regionals I managed to prove to myself that I can really handle this deck in tough situations, because I only ever opened Rabbit in 2 games in regionals, and I went 5-1 there. So I feel I have the potential to do okay at nationals with this deck. It's definitely my favourite one going into the event because it's a lot less sided against than it was. It's a lot less popular than it was. So we'll see how it goes. Either way, guys, this has been Jamie the Kid 00 with my first part of Road to UK Nationals. Again, links to my Twitter and Facebook will be in the underbar, so you can check those out. Get talking to me. I will be posting on there during Nationals, giving you guys news. So otherwise, this has been Jamie the Kid 00. I will see you very soon with some more content. Peace out, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.